Welcome back to another great adventure with members of the Florida Powerboat Club on the club's signature event, the Key West Offshore Poker Run, celebrating 25 years now in this November of 2017. This event is presented by Mercury Racing with grand prize sponsor from offleaseonly.com. This is Stu Jones, and you're now watching episode 5 of this feature coverage, and we've got about a half hour of some incredible offshore powerboats heading from Miami down to Key West. When we left off on the last episode, we were joining a group of about 125 boats who had made the trek from Miami down through the scenic Florida Keys, and we had just finished lunch here at the Ferro Blanca Resort in Marathon. We picked up a poker card here off of this beautiful yacht, and we were all heading offshore through the 7 Mile Bridge into the coastal waters heading down to Key West. We've got 50 miles to ride, so let's catch up to our teams, starting off with Tom Abraham from Long Island in this really cool SV42 MTI. Love the colors, the silver and the black, not overstated. Just a great looking boat and a great running boat. He chose the 350 Verados, and he says that was the perfect package. Great aerial coverage here as the boat's just skipping over those weed beds and getting around them. But now we're joining Joe Castellana, and he's got his 2 sons with him, Joe Jr. and Nick. I'm not sure the 4th passenger on board, but they're in their 388 Skater. It's a 2010 model powered by big Sterling 1550s. Really cool looking boat. I love the graphics, and what a great sounding ride too. Another great visual here, just the incredible scenery coming through Bahia Honda. You know, you got 2 choices. You can do the 7 Mile Bridge, or you could do Bahia Honda, and it looks like Mark Tuck and Team Provocative, they chose Bahia Honda for the SL44 Outer Limits. Now let's welcome Ron and Elaine Long. Not their first rodeo with the club. They've been involved with the club many times and done this event about 5 times, but always as a passenger. So they decided it was time to do it on their own boat, so they got this new statement. It's a 35 model with a pair of Mercury 350 Verados. Ron says it's a great riding boat with 14 speakers and 18 drink holders. Well, there's only 3 of them on the boat, so that leaves about 15 empty drink holders, so they need some more people on board. Say hi once again to Dwayne and Wendy Hall from Ohio with their 38-foot cigarette Top Gun, an 09 model with a pair of Mercury Racing 5 1/4s. Their first time here for Key West, they said they had a fantastic time. I fell in love with this boat. That's why I put it in the Florida Powerboat Club's 25th annual calendar. By now, we've all seen a lot of deep impacts on these poker run events, but David Sacker from Illinois was one of the front runners. In fact, one of the first guys to show up here with a deep impact. Probably this boat is 3 generations ago in terms of ownership of the company. So he's really happy with the boat. He's had it for probably 10 years. Got triple Mercury Verado 300s, a great looking boat, a great running boat, and it's ideal for his situation because you can see he likes to bring a lot of friends on the poker run. Some more great scenic shots here as we cross over Bahia Honda. We're at about mile marker 37 on US Highway 1, so that means it's 37 miles to Key West from here. So this is pretty much the latest point of exit that you can go through to get out into the ocean waters. Now let's welcome some newcomers to the event. Bruno and Rebecca Perret. Says Florida, but they're actually from Quebec. They're Canadians, and he's in the electrical business, big electrical contractor, but that's why the boat is called Megawatts. But this is a familiar boat to many of us. It came from Long Island. It was a club member who's had it for, well, since it was new, really. But just before they sold it, they repowered it with Merc 520s. So I can tell you for certain that Bruno got himself one beautiful 39 Outer Limits with reliable factory warranty power from Mercury, installed by the famous Jim McIntyre. Now let's welcome Joey Stevenson and his crew. Came a long way, all the way from Ohio, about 1,100 miles, trailered the boat down. It's a 1998 32-foot Active Thunder with twin Mercury Bulldogs. So there's a boat that's, think about it guys, now 20 years old. Joey was saying in his video bio that he just decided to start redoing the boat. He just repainted it. But this is their first time on the poker run. They heard about the event, they heard it was a lot of fun, and they said it was absolutely perfect and they wouldn't change a thing. Well guys, we're glad you could make it, and nice to see that 98 Active Thunder looking great. And Joey says his next project is to redo the interior. So, hey, I like it when you can hang on. You know what they say, Joey, it's cheaper to keep her. Now let's welcome back some Key West Poker Run veterans, Gary and Nancy Robertson, who have done this event many, many times, all the way from Maine. 43-foot Nortec with pair of Mercury Racing 700 SCIs. And I think it's a great boat. You know, I had a 39 Nortec, very similar to this, but this 43 was just a little bit bigger, a little heavier, and probably would have been a next natural move for me from the 39. I love the boat, and I know they love it too. It's been on the run many times, and they keep it running great. Big shout out to Nancy. You know, last year she was a trooper. We introduced the first body painting expo, and Nancy decided to jump on board and join in, and Gary was like high-fiving everybody, so you got to like that. It's a spirited couple, and good to have you guys on the run. And here's another newcomer to the Key West Offshore run, Brandon Horrocks from New York, a 42-foot fountain. He's called Lucky Sixes, and he says he's got his own power in there. He said they're big engines. 1,300 horsepower was listed. I don't know, Brandon, if you meant two 650s or 1,300 aside, which would be 2,600 horsepower. Anyway, look at that crew. Here's a team that is having a good time. Look, they got the cameras out. They're all wearing their life jackets. A lot of smiling faces. You know, guys, this is why I do it, to see things like this. Just gotta love that. And I love the loyalty of long-term members like Brian and Karen Connolly from New Hampshire. They've been doing these events for over 25 years. They did their first poker run with the club in about 93 in a 35-foot cigarette cafe racer. So we've come a long way, haven't we, Brian? This is a 477 Nortec with triple 370 horse Mercury diesels. Brian tells me it's the most fuel-efficient boat he's ever owned. And another Nortec and another first-timer, Dave Klein from Pennsylvania. You know, funny story, they wrote in their bio that it's their first time they attended, but it's also the first time they've used the boat. They picked this boat up, this 340 Nortec, from Stoflo Boats 2 days before the Key West Poker Run. So they have got to be just so pumped up here doing their first run. The weather's great, it's warm, the seas are awesome, and really showing how great this 340 runs in the rough stuff. Triple Mercury 350 Verados. I don't know about you guys, but I know that Dave and his crew are loving life right about now. And it looks like the center consoles are getting a lot of airplay now. Let's welcome back for their second year in a row, Scott and Stacy Rosenbach, all the way from Illinois. The first thing they said in their video bio was that they had a great time, thanks to Stu and team. Well, you know what, Scott? We appreciate hearing that, because we work hard at this event. Our entire staff does, all of our service providers, and we're having a blast. Love the colors, love the lines and the colors of this paint job. 4 Mercury Racing 400Rs. I don't think you could put a better engine package on this 41 GTR. It's a 2017 model, and if you're going to own a cigarette, I don't know a better way to go. This is a beautiful boat with plenty of room for all your friends. Well, we opened this episode with an SV42, and here's another SV42, John Rosati from Florida with his 42 powered by 4 Mercury Racing 400Rs. Hey, John, but enough about the boat. Who's that lovely lady riding up front? Oh, we just had to let that engine roar. I love the sound of it. Chris Kinney and Gabby Heath back here in Key West, not their first time here, with this 2005 38 Donzi ZR. They say Mercury Racing 850s. I think they had some smaller motors that they redid, put some big hardware on them, because I don't remember them running like this last time they were here on the Key West run. But they spent a lot of their time here. In their video bio, they tell us this is the best of boating in the USA, and that's what brought them back to the Key West run. But the rest of the time, the boat spends the majority of its season up at Lake of the Ozarks. What does Chris say he likes about boating the most? The bikinis. Well, Chris, I hope that the FPC girls entertained you just enough this year, because we'd love to have you come back again in 2018. And another 38 Donzi ZR, and another team that's back again. Chris Fisher, all the way from Vermont, with his 38 Donzi, a pair of Mercury Racing 525s. And I love the way these Donzi ZRs kick up a giant rooster tail. Just great running boats, great looking boats, and really stood the test of time in terms of their design and the way they run. Let's welcome back Dave and Lori Postel all the way from Michigan. Their brand new 39-foot Deep Impact 399 Quad Mercury Racing 400Rs. And a funny story I'll tell you, last summer we all attended the European Poker Run. Mark Fisher was there, the owner of Deep Impact. You know, Mark came home with, I think, 4 contracts from Deep Impact owners. Dave and Lori were one, Bob Fox was another, Simon Williams was another. Kind of funny how that works, huh? We've got a lot of cigarettes on this run, and we've got at least 3 or 4 of these big 42 Huntress models. Tom and Allison Clocker from Ohio. They were here about 3 years ago, 2015, if I recall. This one's got quad 350s. Now, this is where the payoff is, guys. Look at this boat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, I lost count, but that's why you own a center console. Hey, when I grow up, I want to be Hal Johnson. So in Florida, they have a condo on 17th Street Causeway, and they keep the 39 Nortec here. And up in Michigan, where their home is, they keep a 38-foot cigarette Top Gun. Now, that's the life. I got to thank these guys for being great supporters of the club after all these years. Hal and Missy Johnson from Michigan. And another Formula here on the run. Let's welcome Fran Marfia from Connecticut. 35 Formula Fast Tech, pair of Mercury 500 EFIs. A 1999 model. Can you believe that? He's had this boat for a very long time. Says it's got over 1,000 hours on the hull. Wrote in his video bio, best poker run in the world. All right, Fran, well, I'm listening. You got my attention now. Said this is his first time at the age of 53 doing this kind of a poker run event, and he's going to keep doing it for the rest of his life. Well, that's the kind of good news we like to hear, Fran, and I'm glad you guys had a blast. The boat is certainly looking great, so keep it running because we need you back. And the Nortecs keep coming, and I don't know where they all come from, but boy, they must be busy at that Nortec factory. Let us welcome newcomers to the event and to the club. Ron and Jane Myring from Michigan, 39-foot Nortec center console, triple Mercury 350 Verados. Oh, look at all the green. They're all matching. I think they're going for that best dressed award. But look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 on board. Once again, guys, look at, they are running great. They're running 60 miles an hour. Everyone's got a comfortable seat. The boat is handling the seas perfectly. I mean, you guys couldn't ask for a better day and for a better way to get started with your new boat. So thanks for joining us here on the Key West Run, and we hope you guys can make it back again. Well, we know that there's a lot of Mystics on the run, maybe a dozen, maybe 10, I'm not sure. But this is one that I was happy to see because Neil and Cindy Campbell just took delivery of this 42 powered by triple Mercury 350s. And they're avid boaters. They said that they had many formulas in the past, but they decided it was time to go to a center console. They're very avid boaters because they also own a big 74 Lazara yacht. So this is kind of like the fun, sporty side of their boating lifestyle. And I know that they're enjoying it because they've done a lot of poker runs with us this year. And they told us that Key West was on their bucket list of poker runs to do. And another couple doing their first Key West poker run in their brand new Nortec 39 center console, triple Mercury 350 Verados. Ed and Jackie Rachel from Florida. And kind of a similar story to the previous couple because they've been avid boaters for a very long time. They own a big Viking Sportfish, but they wanted to get a sport boat so they can go and do poker runs, and they definitely picked the right one. And the girls seem to be enjoying their spot. They're nice bikinis girls, by the way. They are definitely candidates for the sexiest crew. I don't know, guys. This is a tough one, though. There's a lot of competition on Key West, but I think these girls are definitely contenders, Jackie and her girlfriends. Love the colors on this 39, the simple silver blue metallic. Look at how the water, when it breaks water, it shines up on the side of the boat and lights up the graphics. Something about these 39 Nortecs, they run fantastic, and I know that you guys are having a great time on your first Key West run. Thank you very much for joining us. And another Mystic and another couple who are veterans of this run, Ray and Christine Grimaud from New York. 42 Mystic with 3 Mercury Verado 350s. Love the colors, love the look of this boat. And I know that, Ray was just a one-time Key West guy. That's all he did every year. But now they got the new Mystic, and they're doing a whole bunch of poker runs because they love this boat. And this is definitely a center console feature this episode with this Midnight Express 43. David and Jenny Landsman from Maryland, who also spend a lot of time in Florida. 5 Mercury Racing 400 Verados. Looks like one of them is retired for the rest of the trip today. Not sure why, but let's count all the people on board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, I got to about 12 or 13 and lost track, but here's a perfect example of why you own a big 43 Midnight Express. Look at all the room. 3 people sitting comfortably in the front, and you can't really see it or hear it now, but this boat is completely loaded with LEDs and an incredible stereo. Alongside Eric and Maggie Glazer, obviously co-owners of the Midnight Express brand, built in Miami. Another 43, another set of 5 Mercury Racing 400Rs, and another big crew. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Probably 9 or 10 on board, and plenty of room for 10 more. So, and look at the way the boat rides, just how effortlessly it cruises through these waves, through this chop here on the coastal waters as we head down to Key West. Now we're catching up with yet our third SV42 MTI. This one, again, 4 Mercury Racing 400Rs. Bob and Charlene Ladas from Massachusetts, and they've been on this run before. In fact, Bob's been in the club for at least 2 or 3 years. Started out with a 44-foot MTI Cat, and like many other couples, they just gravitate towards these center consoles. They're sporty, they're fast, you can bring all your friends. They just make a lot of sense if you really want to enjoy your boating lifestyle to its fullest. And finally, for all you cat guys who were just chomping at the bit, you were starting to get a little worried, weren't you? Well, you can thank Chris and Jennifer Miller from Florida in their 388 Skater, Mercury Racing 1350s. A beautiful boat. Looks like they're just kind of chilling right now. They know they're going to get some helicopter time, so hey, we're over here. she's like, come and get us our picture. Come on over closer. Well, this is a pretty boat, and it's their first time on a Key West poker run. Thanks for joining us. I know that they spend time in Florida, and also I think in Arizona or Colorado, their other home. Their address on file is Florida, but nice to see somebody travel so far to join us, and what a great-looking skater. This is a cool story I want to tell you. This is Greg Connolly. His dad is Brian Connolly, who had that 47 Nortec earlier in the show. But this is Greg's first event in his 28 Skater. He's on the throttles here today, and he's got his buddy Chris Hopgood driving. So congratulations, guys, your first Key West event in your own boat. And they're back again. This is Anthony Bertozzi from Virginia. His 38-foot cigarette Top Gun, Twin Mercury Racing 525s. He's got his lady Kathy on board, as well as Mike and Christy Fuqua from Tennessee, who are avid club members. Nice to see you guys all hanging out together and sharing the ride on this really cool-looking 38 gun. Now we're catching up with Ray Akey from Miami, one of the first brand new 399s ever built. He's had the boat now for about 2 years. Got his lovely lady Sasha riding alongside, and all of his friends, and look at, they all got the matching tops. One thing Ray is known for is being the party master. He's got an incredible stereo, a big huge fog machine, and Sasha's got a lot of good looking friends, so I think there's a party in store in Key West. And another Miami crew, Mike and Maggie Sands and Mike Jr. I think just dad and son on the boat today. Mom probably took the car down, but their 36-foot Deep Impact is powered by triple Mercury 400Rs. It's called Back in Black again. Mike uses black in a lot of his boat names. Why? Because he drinks Johnny Walker Black like I do. You gotta love the guy for that though, right? Look at the cool interior. I love this boat. Everything about it. It's for sale. If you're interested, call the club office. Now just take a second and listen to this beast roar. Anton Holstrom is the proud owner of this new, what I would consider the most outrageous boat on the run. Prepared by Pat Sullivan at Performance Marine Trading. It's a 1999 33 power play center console. But listen to this. It's got small block motors by Harold Grady, who used to work for Chief. They're 383 cubic inch, 700 horsepower aside. Looks like they hit some big water and got a little loose there, so they backed off the throttle. And but I want to thank them for putting on a great show. And that Key West sunset is starting to cast its reflections on these waterways, making for some great video shots as we now catch up with Noel and Gretchen Speranza from the Sarasota area. They're riding in a 32-foot concept with a pair of Mercury Verados, but this is just a loaner boat. They had a fountain for quite a long time in the club that they're not too happy with the way the fountain was running. They had a few breakdown issues. They said, no, it's time for us to own a center console. So they've got a new Concept 44 in the works at this time. It's going to have quad 400s on it. And I think Concept just said, let's be good to our customers and loan them a boat. So that's basically what happened here. Good to see you guys at least enjoying the poker run and getting your chance to ride on a 32 Concept. Boy, that 44 is going to be sweet. And I just love these chase scenes where the helicopter starts from about 500 feet away and starts to zoom in, as we're now catching up with Michael Alexander from Long Island with the TJA Motorsports, 32-foot skater, a former race boat, obviously been repowered and well-maintained, triple 300 Mercury outboards on it. It's got all his buddies on board. They've all got a comfortable seat, seem to be enjoying the ride. And Michael, I don't know, buddy, how many years have you done this event? I have truly lost track. And I apologize for saying that this was like a late 90s skater at one time. It's actually an 89 hull that he keeps in perfect shape. And here's another one of our Deep Impact 399s, Dr. Jason Parker. I think it's his shakedown run, the first time he's used this new boat, Quad Mercury Racing 400s. A lot of friends on board. I have to say, so far, this is my favorite 399. Look at the colors, the graphics, just the way everything is done on this boat. It's exactly the way I would do it if I ordered one, but I just love the way it's done. Jason said the boat handled the rough water no problem. He named the boat Maverick after his late friend, Dr. Tom Kybach. In his bio, he wrote, his favorite thing about boating was the beautiful waters, the great people, and going fast. Yes, dear, we will make you an FPC girl on the next event. And I know you cat guys are going to love this sequence because we got double trouble here. That's right, two skaters side by side running hard. Tony DeWall in the foreground and this 40 skater. Not exactly sure of the power, I think big Sterling's, but a great run in 40, a 2003 model. Love the paint and graphics, love the colors. Looks like Tony's just got her dialed in and running great. Now, Tony's buddy, Don Doty, is actually the owner of the boat, and it took me a while to realize how this whole equation works. Well, I guess Don is just a skater lover. He's from Michigan, so that explains it. But looking at this 2015 42, it's actually a Skater 426. This was the first skater sold by Performance Boat Center at the Miami Boat Show in 2017, so a year ago or earlier this year. And he bought the boat there, and he says this was his first cat. So when he bought the other boat, that was a good deal for Tony, because now Tony gets to drive his own 40 on the poker run. Not a bad deal, huh, guys? And another big 43 Open Midnight Express, this one by 4 Mercury 400Rs. Not sure, there's no number on this boat, only one guy drive, 2 people in the boat maybe, so not really sure if they're actually on the event, but you know what, since they're a sponsor, let's show the boat. It's actually beautiful. And we're getting closer to Key West as we now catch up with Team FJ Propeller. Jim Harrison, everyone knows him. Frankie and Jimmy's Propeller Shop in Fort Lauderdale. 39 Nortec center console with 4 Mercury 400s. Why does he have so much power? Because he likes to go fast. He's a boat racer that decided that he wanted to get some fun with the poker runs too. So he's living his dream, doing best of both worlds here in Key West. And one of our manufacturing sponsors to wrap things up here for this episode, MTI with their new 34 Cat piloted by Tim Gallagher. And we're not sure, it says Aaron, but I don't think Aaron's in the boat. I think she's going to drive down. But these twin Mercury 400Rs are the perfect power match for this 34 MTI. You can run 100 miles an hour all day long, burn very, very little fuel, and have a whole bunch of fun, as they exactly are doing right about now. Just look at these conditions and how well this 34 Cat is just skating across the water. I think everyone would agree that the conditions for the offshore ride from Marathon to Key West were just fabulous. But let's check in with our Team Nextera now on the 105-foot Leopard motor yacht, Team Negotiator. Remember, we saw this yacht earlier in the show where we had a car checkpoint in Marathon, and they had about a 2.5-hour ride from Marathon down to Key West. And this is the view from the bow of the yacht. This is something that most of us did not see in the powerboats making that final leg down. But they're in just about a little bit later. probably an hour later than the rest of the crew, but they did manage to get around this storm and get into Key West Harbor safely. With that big cloud hanging out in the west, that might not have been the best Key West sunset for all these folks in Mallory Square, but it's still a big party nonetheless. This is the view that you see coming into Key West Harbor along the jetty here. That's the Galleon Marina in behind, and A&B Marina. Look at all these beat up sailboats and debris and just all this garbage up on the jetties. Remember, it was just September that we had the storm, and this is just 2 months later. I would have thought that they had done a little bit better to clean some of that mess up. And the party at the Conch Republic is about to begin as we get this big 105-footer docked at the Key West Bight Marina. Captain Alan Sasson at the helm. He's really happy with the new boat. He used to run the 90-foot Nia, but now they're in this 105 that's much bigger, much faster. And I think that Mark Palanchian and all the people from Nextera are really happy with their new platform to enjoy the Key West poker run. And eventually everybody got offloaded from the Negotiator, and most of our Key West Poker Run teams have all arrived now. And it's a time of the evening when you really have two choices at this point. You can either go hang out at the Poker Run Village, which is wide open throttle. There's a lot of people hanging out there. All the boats are in pretty much at the Conch Republic sponsor dock. The Poker Run Village is up and going full speed. So there's a lot of action going around there, and clearly it's happy hour too at the Conch Republic. So it's hard to really leave that energetic vibe that happens there, but most of us do have to get checked into hotels still. This is a good time to do it. So a lot of people are getting in cabs or taking the FPC shuttle, getting over to their hotels to get checked in and get ready for tonight's festivities. And those festivities are new to the agenda, at least they were in 2016, and we kept it for 2017, and that was the Key West Body Painting Expo. And the reason that we added it was because there really wasn't anything exciting going on Thursday. And after all these trips I've been making to Key West over the years, especially during like Fantasy Fest or during the motorcycle Key West Poker Run, it seemed to me that there was a body painting artist or some activities pretty much on every street corner or every other block in Key West. So we thought that we would reach into that talent pool and bring some of these artists and bring some of these lovely ladies over to the Conch Republic and start doing the Body Painting Expo. And it actually attracted some of the people in the club as well, some of the wives or girlfriends that wanted to sort of let their hair down, and they'd never been body painted before, or it's been a while, and they thought, oh, what the heck, we're having fun in Key West. So this was an opportunity to really have a nice little bit of entertainment on the side here at the Conch Republic Seafood Company, and I'm glad that we chose to do it here, and it worked out really well. So if you're on the Key West Poker Run, this is a major turning point in the program, because now all the boats are in Key West, and now we're going to shift gears and we're going to focus our attention on having fun in Key West. So there are a lot of activities planned. Of course, there's going to be powerboat racing on Friday as well as on Sunday. So the agenda for Friday is going to be watching the powerboat races, whether you go out in your boat or whether you just stay on shore and watch them. And then on Friday night, we have our big sponsor appreciation party here at the Conch Republic Seafood Company. Saturday, we're going to be out on the boats again for a fun run, possibly heading out towards Woman Key if the weather permits us. And if it doesn't, well, we'll have to find a new place to play. Of course, Saturday night is the big poker run party. We're going to give away that off-lease-only grand prize Ford Mustang convertible. So there's plenty on the agenda for the coming days. When we come back with our next episode, it'll be episode number 6 with feature coverage of the 25th annual Key West Poker Run presented by Mercury Racing. This is Stu Jones. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you on the next episode of Florida Powerboat Club's Powerboating in Paradise Adventures. Remember, if you're looking for information about the club, you can always reach us at our Pompano Beach headquarters at 954-545-1414. And if you follow us on social media, on Facebook, we're FL Powerboat, and on YouTube, we're Florida Powerboat Club. Be sure that you hit the subscribe button so you get all the updates when new episodes come out. And of course, we're on Instagram, several pages to check out, keeping you entertained with a fresh stream of steady content.